Welcome back, everybody, to LOA Losers. You say you want more money, but what if never enough has become your comfort zone? In this LOA Loser episode, we're going to uncover the unconscious patterns that keep you stuck in survival and how to gently shift into receiving more without fear.
Yes, and this is something we never hear in law of attraction circles. Or when we are start learning this, we think we're doing something wrong when really we're just clinging to what feels familiar. That's it.
Yeah, so that's what today's episode is about. Why some of us unconsciously hold on to struggle. I'm guilty. Not because we want to be suffer, but because survival taught us that just enough equals safety, control, and or protection.
Yeah, exactly. So if the flow of money is always the same or even stops, it's not because you're blocked, but because you are protecting yourself. And that's not failure, beautiful audience. That is intelligence.
Yes, it is. That's how intelligent we are, right, Lydia?
Yes, we are.
It's like it feels backwards, but it's not, people.
It is
Well,
not.
we're going to walk you through how this shows up, maybe how to spot it in your own life, and how to start gently releasing the comfort of struggle or the comfort of not having enough money so you can receive more.
Yeah. And of course, we're going to end this episode with the one key that changes everything. So you're going to want to stay until the end. Check out the end.
And then don't skip. Let's name the LOA misconceptions we're spotlighting today. You think you're desiring to manifest more money or abundance, but deep down, your energy is preserving what's familiar, not allowing what's possible.
Hmm. Yeah, absolutely. That familiarity, pay attention to that. That is knowing yourself. So, exactly, we say we want overflow, expansion, freedom. But if we spend years or a lifetime adapting to just enough, then the more doesn't feel liberating. It feels like risk, right? Especially to that inner child that has never known true freedom or abundance.
Yeah, we have this risk of failure, risk of loss, risk of being seen. That's a big one for me, risk of being seen.
Mm.
So we end up chasing abundance while simultaneously fearing the unfamiliar, the unknown, and what it might require of us to have that much abundance.
Exactly. And remember, Bashar always says, you cannot get what you are not the vibration of. If your energy is saying stay small, stay safe, guess what is going to happen? The universe listens, right? Not as a punishment. It is not that way, but as a partnership. Is the universe is saying, okay, I love you unconditionally. I'm supporting you. Okay, that's what you want. There you go. Your wish, remember, the universe is always saying, your wish is my command, right?
Yes, it's definitely saying that. So what it means is that no amount of vision boards, mantras, intention, goal setting, meditation, well, meditation might help a little bit. This can
Yeah.
override that deeper association that having more feels less safe than just getting by. So let's break it down with a few real life clues. And I wanted to share with you, everyone, this aha moment that brought this episode together. And that was that I found myself, this is a clue, one of the clues in a place where I really was not noticing that things weren't working out, that there wasn't enough money coming in flow. We're doing pretty well. And I'm feeling great. And I just thought, but what is going on? Because things aren't really changing like the way that I feel like they were supposed to be changing. Like I actually felt that. I felt so abundant and felt this. And what came up for me in chatting with um, a friend of mine who channels Source is that I was in a protective mode that poverty was familiar and
Um,
lack of, and I've lived that all my life. So that's a big clue too. If really you've got things rocking and rolling, but you can't get beyond that, here it is. It might be that you're really just in it's safe to be familiar. And I know this might be in several areas, but we're talking about money here. It's safer to not have it. And that really blew me away because in my mind, I was thinking, no, it's safer to have money because money
yeah.
means safety. But once I was able to see that, I saw where, uh-oh, I have I have this belief too that familiar is safety. And I'm familiar with not enough, and I'm familiar with mediocrity, and I'm familiar with poverty.
Wow, that is very powerful. And very good, quick question, my dear Tracy. It was like behind the scenes, right? That
Yeah.
energy, that familiarity. Yeah, that's the importance of this beautiful audience. So, beautiful audience, see if any of these sound familiar. You get a surprise check in the email, and instantly a bill shows up to match it. You hit a new income level, and suddenly your expenses rise too. You finally get ahead and find a way to sabotage, and I'm quoting, quote unquote, the overflow without even realizing it.
Or maybe it's more subtle, like just like discomfort receiving gifts,
Yeah.
resistance to raising your rates for your services,
Mhm.
or chronic guilt when you spend money, which we talked a little bit about that in the last episode about the post-purchase discomfort. And what'd you call it, Lydia? It was called
Buyer's remorse.
buyer's remorse. Yes.
Yeah.
Spend money on anything. You feel that when you spend money on anything that's just for pleasure. You can't justify it because it's just for pleasure.
Mhm, mhm, mhm. Yeah, and seriously, we want to be very clear. These aren't failures. They are nervous system patterns, beliefs, that remember you are practicing, we are practicing unconsciously. Your body is trying to keep you in what is known, to keep you safe. Because even if just enough is tight, it is predictable. It feels safe, right?
Yes, and predictable is powerful, especially if you grew up in chaos, scarcity, or conditional love, which I don't know about you guys, but I think a lot of people did. So you may have learned early on that overflow isn't trustworthy. So if there's too much, it isn't trustworthy. That it disappears. And I did learn that. It was actually I can remember learning that. So now your physical mind too, protects you by keeping your life in a range it knows how to handle. This is comfortable.
Yeah, yeah. It is automatic. It is like survival. So we are not here to shame that, okay? We are here to bring awareness so we can shift it with compassion.
So let's talk about how to start shifting this
Okay.
gently without forcing it, because there is no other way, by the way, everyone. Remember, this isn't about fixing yourself. It's about
No,
shifting your belief system to feel safe with more.
exactly. And one of the simplest ways to begin, microdoses, microdoses of abundance. Give your body like those tiny, consistent experiences of overflow that don't feel overwhelming for you.
Yes, I love that word microdosing because that's the big thing now about microdosing. So you can start microdosing abundance, everybody.
Yeah.
And it could be looking like letting yourself buy the better version of something. I mean, haven't you been at the store? I mean, Lydia, you might have done this too, where you're like going, well, I could get this shirt, but I really like this one, but it's $10 more. So stop buying the cheapest stuff and buy something nice for yourself.
Yeah, exactly. That is very powerful. And now that you're asking, these glasses are an example because I got the better.
Also,
They were like $20, perhaps. Like, I mean, I could have buy them like for less, not this exact model, but I was like, no, Lydia, stop doing that. It's like, go
yeah.
for the better. You are worth it, right?
Right, right. I've noticed too when someone offers you help or a compliment, it could be as simple as that. And you can actually receive it, actually say thank you without deflecting.
Yeah, exactly. Or saying yes to a refund or a gift or even an idea that feels like luxurious. Just the idea, make the idea. Just to remind yourself, you know what? I can have that. I can have this, and it's okay. It's okay, right?
Yes. And another powerful shift is, and we have talked about that many times in our past episodes, is that looking for things that are already working out instead of looking at stuff that's always missing. Start noticing where money, love, or support is already showing up, even if it's small, even if it doesn't look like money. We're talking about love and support also.
Absolutely. And I recently, it was perhaps yesterday, I received this message like, even when you are with your family or having a meal, be in that moment because you are creating that moment, right? And there's abundance. Appreciate that moment with your family, with your kids, and accept the way they are, accept everything as it is. And that creates what Dr. Joe Dispenza calls a new emotional signature. And it gives your nervous system evidence that abundance, it is not a threat, okay? It is safe. It's available for you, for me, for everyone. It is not going to cost you your safety or your current belongings,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, you can keep what you
It,
have.
exactly. You can keep what you have. And if not, it's going to transform to something even better. Trust the process. Because here's the truth. You just need to show yourself, right?
Mhm,
It is safe to have more. That's the way to open up for more, to receive more, right?
mhm. Yes. And also, a reminder to everyone, have conversations with yourself, have conversations with your ego, your inner critic, with your inner child. Let it know you got this. That, you know what, familiar isn't really as fun as you think it is. It's like it's overrated. Let them know. It's like we're going to do this together and we're going to have so much more fun. And, I love this example of how abundance really exists and it's safe. And that is that years and centuries ago, our great grandfathers didn't even have clothes like we have. They had to wash their clothes and put them back on. And
Oh,
now we open up our closets and they're full of clothes. And actually, they're full of clothes that we don't even wear anymore. And we have so much that we put them in sacks and take them down to other stores to give away. And
yes.
so abundance is always increasing. And you can say to yourself, was it not safe having more clothes? It's like, no, it was totally safe. It was awesome.
Mhm.
So that's just one way to look at shifting abundance to how much abundance there is and that it's safe to have abundance. You see, it's always fun to have more when you can share more. And that's one of the things I love about abundance. And maybe with the inner child and ego and inner critic, you can say, but it's so much more fun to have more. It's safe now.
Yeah, exactly. It is okay. So here it is. The one key that changes everything, it
Woo.
is your capacity. And listen to this, write it down. Your capacity to receive more, it is directly correlated, linked to your capacity to feel safe while receiving,
Yes.
right?
Yeah, totally. And I mean, that's so powerful. And safety doesn't mean staying the same. It means showing every aspect of you, especially the scared or skeptical parts, that you're not abandoning them. You're expanding with them, like the clothes, you're expanding all the time and it's fun.
Exactly. When you can stay grounded, regulated, and kind to yourself while receiving more, you start making it your new normal. It's a new feeling, it's a new vibration, it's a new reality, and it is normal, right?
Yes. And that, Lydia, is where the magic lives.
Mhm.
Not in the fantasy of someday I'm going to be rich and therefore I'll be rich and powerful, but in the practice of being honest, kind, and present with yourself now and appreciating now.
Absolutely. And let's not forget the real key underneath all is this loving yourself unconditionally. That's what makes everything else possible. Nurture that, please.
That's the piece that you're waiting for, everyone, at the end. It's always about loving yourself. So if this episode spoke to you, share it with someone you love. And remember, this is a part two of a three-part series.
So be sure to hit subscribe and stick around for a final episode where we'll talk about how to allow more and more because it's never just about money. It's about you feeling worthy of being supported.
Yes, and you are so worthy. So we'll see you the next video. But wait,
Yes.
if you resonated with anything we had to say in the comments below, don't forget the dollar sign.
Oh, yes, we love the dollar sign. I love that. Yes, let's spread this dollar sign. I love it. So,
And please share any kind of aha moment because what you share in the comments will also help someone else. So again, we'll see you next video. It's LOA Losers.
ciao for now.